Good morning and wakey bakey from Washington State. Hello, how are you all? This is Tara Lee Live, and I am here with my co-host Drake. He is checking in from Canada. Hello, Drake.
Checking in from my cell phone because my Canadian Wi-Fi just completely gave out this morning, but I'm excited to be here with you nonetheless.
All right, and today I'm super excited. We get to welcome in JR Tokin. How are you, Tokin?
Doing really good. Happy to be here. Thanks for having me on, Tara.
It's nice to see you again. I don't know if for those of you that haven't been following for a long time, JR used to co-host with me, and back in the day, we've had a lot of good shows, didn't we, JR?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we
did. A lot of fun. And where did we actually first meet? Was it Hempfest? I'm trying or the Portland Cannabis Club.
Yeah, it was at Portland's Indo Expo, I believe.
That's what it was. Okay, you're right. Yeah. That was fun.
And that seems like ages ago.
Doesn't it, though?
I know.
So how are you? And I think we should start this off with a puff. What do you think? What are we going to smoke on today?
Sounds good. I'm smoking on Caps Lock today.
Sounds amazing. Let me get chat popped out here. Give me just a minute. And if you were tuning in from chat today, make sure you have it on live chat and not top chat so you don't miss part of the conversation. Okay, here we go. And I am going to go in. I think I'm going to go in on some Acapulco Gold. I think that's what I'm going to go in on this morning. Let's do that. First dab of the day, and Drake's banging around over there. I don't know what he's doing.
I'll mute, and I'll be hitting some black garlic right away too. Sorry, the phone. As soon as I got it set up, the phone fell down. So woo!
I'm like, all right. And where did my chat go? My chat just disappeared all of a sudden. There we go. Okay, lighten up. Here we go. And probably because we titled the video Smokin, YouTube will definitely not share it out.
Right.
We will get in trouble for that title. It will be age restricted. Lots of problems with that. Heaven forbid if you smoke. Okay. So JR, you were talking about what you've been up to lately. Like, what do you want to share with everybody? What's been going on?
Well, I got lots of things to talk about. First of all, at the end of dealing with my cancer situation, I got reattached. So that's huge. I'm on the mend. I'm about 2 weeks out from surgery. I feel great. I'm back in the garden and doing really good. Looking forward to getting out and seeing people this summer. I'm hoping that by the end of the summer, things will kind of open up and we can get together again.
Exactly. That's what the cannabis people need, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I really miss going to the shows and meeting up with all your friends and seeing what's the latest and greatest in the industry and, learning and educating yourself with seminars. I mean, all that stuff. I miss it a lot.
Woo! First dab of the day. That was good. I needed that before we got going here. Woo, kick it off.
I'm ready too. And same thing. Fingers crossed. I am missing the social connection. And like you said, it's just so neat to be able to connect with all these other people that all have the exact same interests that are here to just relax, hang out, and see what's new in the industry.
Yeah, I agree. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'm making plans to be at the MJ BizCon in Vegas. I've never been to Vegas and I've never been to that show, but I'm pretty excited. We're going to try to promote a bunch of cannabis stuff out there, and cannabis is doing really good. Kind of switched gears a little bit.
Really quick, for people who are totally new maybe to the cannabis industry, JR Tokin and some of his friends have started a platform. I know they have an app for your phone, and it's also on your computer, and it's called Cannabis. For those of you that are interested, it's amazing. JR, go ahead and continue to tell about it.
Yeah, so we're right around 120,000 users. We do live events, and one of the things that we're promoting right now is our membership program. because we don't do a lot of ads on ours, so there's just a few spots for advertisements. So the bulk of our revenue will be coming from members. It'll be a member driven community rather than answering to sponsors community. So we're pretty stoked about that. Yeah, it's been pretty good. We've made it to where now, like, if you have a podcast, you can upload your entire show through the PC, through the website for Cannabuzz. And I think if you're on Android, I think we got like up to 20-minute videos, and we're still at 5 with iOS. We're working with Apple to get those expanded. But yeah, as far as uploads go, if you use the website for cannabuzz.app, you have unlimited upload size. So like Growing with Fish is on there. Potent Ponic Steve's program, he's uploading his entire program onto the platform. So we're really trying to grow it. We're trying to keep it open to not just, we don't want to just have growers only, we don't want it to be a growers only type platform. We want to really encourage smokers and glass blowers and all the people of the community to
industry wide.
And join the community. We got a few good glass blowers on there. I just recently picked up a Cannabuzz bong from It's a
That's
Bobo.
rad.
Yeah,
Nice.
It's really cool. So yeah, I mean, we're having a good time, and we're finally starting to make some decent momentum. It's been, for us, we didn't take any kind of venture capital money. We didn't take any investment money because we really wanted to be able to grow this thing how we want to grow it and not have to answer to people for anything. So it's kind of like our baby. But yeah, it's going good. Love it.
Well, that's great to hear. What's just to touch on it a little bit more, what's kind of the newest implementation or one of the most recent things you've been happy with?
I have to say our video uploads, we did a whole new, I guess, back end for video uploads.
Yeah.
And the video uploading is a lot smoother and a lot better than it was in the past. Something we're looking forward to is chat inside the live. You can go live, but it doesn't have chat right now.
Yeah, so that's what someone just asked in chat.
That's a great feature. That's great to add.
Yeah, we're working on that. We're hoping to have that up by midsummer. That should be accomplished by midsummer. But yeah, it's good. I mean, like I said, with the video uploads, you can do, quite a bit with, if you want to go through the PC or if you want to go through the website.
Awesome. JR, if you want to click on that link, I forgot to tell you, you can pull that out and it'll pull the window out for you and you can follow along with chat. And Ian says, right on, JR.
Yeah, so I'm pretty excited about the summer. I should be back on my feet by June. I figure by June I should be pretty much where I was. So hoping to get out and get to see people. I'm really missing that.
I know. And being HempFest, we got to go to HempFest. We were talking about that a little bit last night. And I got to meet Eddie Lepp for the first time. I don't know if that was the first time you've met him.
Yeah.
Was it? Okay. Okay. So last year at HempFest, or last year, oh my God, that was 2019. Good God. It seems like yesterday, but it doesn't seem like yesterday. In 2019, we were smoking with Eddie Lepp behind the X-Vape booth back there. And I got to give him a dab of my super lemon haze. That was pretty fun, and hang out. And I didn't even know who the guy was. You had to fill me in on all that. So that was really cool. And I'm glad you got a picture with him.
Yeah, it was good. It was nice. Some of those guys paved the way for a lot of us, and they really put their neck out and sacrificed a lot. Because back then, it was a serious thing. I think people nowadays who are kind of in the industry some of them are so new, they don't remember what it was like back then whenever,
No idea.
I mean, back in the day, they'd take your children away if you had paraphernalia in the house, I mean,
Oh yeah, do your kids smoke like this or like this, or do your parents smoke like this? Like all the propaganda, right? Like,
Right.
That's
Yeah.
crappy. I can't believe they did that. That's
oh, it's
horrible.
beyond crappy. It ruined tons of people's lives, and at that, people who were generally just trying to take a little bit of power back themselves and bring some form of peacefulness into their life, be it pain or stress or whatever was driving them to use this cannabis, and go out of their way to have to find it from some, someone in some place, right? Like it wasn't easy to acquire. It wasn't easy to talk about. It was a whole different world. It was like dealing with something that's extremely illegal right now. It was a different time.
Yeah, it's like for the town that I lived in, we were a fishing and logging industry, and both of those industries kind of tanked. And so a lot of the guys weren't able to get out and feed their families, so they had to find alternative resources in order to feed their families. And so that's kind of what sparked a lot of the indoor scene back in the 80s, early 80s. And I was fortunate enough to grow up in an era where indoor kill bud was kind of like already in the market and demand, had a high demand. When I was younger, I didn't really see brick weed or brown weed. So I was fortunate in that respect. But yeah, a lot of the guys, I mean, they pretty much had no choice, it was either like starve or figure it out. So a lot of guys did guerrilla grows and a lot of guys did indoor grows.
Speaking of grows, do you want to update us on your grow? And Drake's muted. Drake, did you want to say something?
Well, hey, I've already forgot what I just said. I think I was just acknowledging that it was definitely a whole different world again. But I did notice one more question pertaining to cannabis before we jump too far off, and that was just Tom asking, like, how do you deal with the trappers? Obviously, with any platform, with any sort of app or anything, there's going to be people that just go on there to try and hustle, to try and sell products, do illegal actions. How do you guys deal with that specifically?
Basically, if they're scammers, we delete their accounts and we set it up to where they can't DM you. You have to be friends with each other. Like I have to be your friend and you have to be my friend before we DM. And so that eliminated a lot of the robot chicks and the scammers.
Yeah, totally.
So it's kind of an inconvenience for some of our vendors because, like, say for Rasta Jeff from Irie Genetics, he's got thousands of followers and they're all trying to buy, seeds. And he it's hard for him to be friends with every single one of them in order to be able to do DM communications.
So right, it kind of has give and take.
Yeah, so as a workaround, we said just, hey, when you make your posts, just post up your email and direct your traffic to your email, rather than, try to be constantly doing the one-on-one with being friends with, everybody. So it made it a little tougher for some of our vendors, but it's made it a lot better for all of our users.
And then I bet quite a bit of like person to person, just friends essentially is what I'm getting at, help as well. Like I know that I've sent at least a couple. If you're scrolling through and you see someone that's just like, hit me up for pounds of this or whatever, and you
Sure.
get a screenshot that, send it to yourself or one of the other moderators, and then you guys can quickly nip it in the butt and get rid of them, delete the account, and so if any other users see it, we want to comment and mention that to one of the administrators so they can deal with it right away, because that's a risk and a liability on your platform as well. You don't want some other entity coming in to say, oh, what's this cannabis about? And then seeing people trying to flip packs and, what it's not about at all. So we got to
we have to be really careful about that. And we kind of also rely on the community to help police the community in that sense.
Exactly. Yeah.
So like, you can report if you see any comments that are sketchy, or if you see any posts that are sketchy, there's a feature where you can report that post or report that comment. And Sam is Q Grows, our admin and also co-owner. He's really on it. He's on it. So those guys don't last long, that's for sure. But with social media, it's people interacting with other people. So sometimes people have issues with each other. And so sometimes we get thrown in the middle of that. So that's one of the parts of it that, we have to be mindful of and deal with. And so far, it's been going pretty good. We've had a couple people we've had to ban from the platform because they're just straight up attacking people.
Yeah, a little too much, right? People get
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
heated up. And
We want our platform to be based on peace and love, really, to be honest with you. We don't allow any political posting. We don't allow any conspiracy posting. We pretty much just like try to keep it really positive. It's a safe space for people to come and join.
a love for the plant, right? It's everyone loves the plant. Everyone, lots of people love gardening or just it in general, and it's just a safe place to post, to chat, and then to not be censored.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and it is a place where you don't have to worry about your account getting deleted, or even like Tara Lee said, she's worried about YouTube not promote or not distributing her video because of the
Yeah,
title.
no promotion. Yeah.
Yeah, with Cannabis, you don't got to worry about that. You can post up as much cannabis related content as you want.
That's awesome. I think it's great. You guys are still doing that and kicking along. Uh, how's your grow going?
Grow's going really good.
I see it on Instagram.
Thanks. While I was out, my wife Deb, she's OC Deb on Cannabis. She really stepped up, man. She usually have Uncle Jim come down and do stuff, for me when I'm out. But man, she killed it. I mean, she was a very fast learner and did a great job. Kept the ladies happy the whole time. And
we better take a big rip for that lady then, for keeping
cheers.
them ladies' life for you. Let's take a rip for her and a rip for you. I'm glad you're doing better. I think this is awesome to have you back in. I'm so excited to be able to talk to you again today, JR. I was so looking forward to this.
Yeah. So what's in your garden, Tara Lee?
Man, you know what? I haven't even decided what's in my garden yet. I have plants and plants and plants. And nice. I was talked into getting started earlier this year than I have been in the past. Good. Which was a very good move.
Good.
And I went down the Jadam path. And so it takes a lot of stuff to prepare for the season. It's not as easy as some of the other growing is, as you might know.
Sure.
So yeah, I right now for sure I'm having the Congo. The Congolese is in there. I got 2 big ones of those. Those 2 are going in there for sure. But then I have a lot of Dem Pure seeds that were gifted to me and a lot of stuff. So we'll see what I pick come the day to plant. Nice. So cheers to your woman and to your girls and you. Cheers.
Yeah, so I've got that Caps Lock by Two Tone Willie. He just put out, if you go on Instagram on Two Tone Genetics, he just put out a new menu of stuff that he's got. And man, he's got some amazing varieties. And I've been growing the Caps Lock now for probably almost a year now, I think. It's nice. It produces well, smells like a skunk's ass. I mean, I love it. It's really good. And then Brad from Raw Genetics, he hooked me up with some Fem seeds. I've never ran Fems before. And so I tried out his Jelly Pie and his Cherry Paloma. And I was really impressed. They were totally stable. I didn't have any intersex issues at all. And that Cherry Paloma, man, I'm telling you what, it's amazing. It tastes like it smells. And for me, that's something I'm always looking for, is cannabis that has a flavor. You can some hell have this amazing smell, bag appeal, everything's great, but then when you go to hit it, it's kind of flat. You know what I mean? It doesn't really have a flavor that lingers in your mouth. And that's something that I'm always searching for whenever I'm pheno hunting out seeds, So I found this Cherry Paloma and it tastes exactly like it smells. And it's amazing. It's kind of woodsy and spicy, and it's got kind of a uniqueness about it. It's not sweet or anything like that. So it's kind of one of those deals where either you really like it or you don't like it, But yeah, it's really stoked. The garden's doing good. I think I'm in week 6 right now, the end of week 6.
How long are you taking your ladies?
I'll go 9.5 weeks for these varieties. Like to go at least 9.5, 10 weeks. I usually
Is-
push myself to 9 weeks
Is
anyway.
that about your average with all of them?
Yeah, I usually
Yeah.
push 9 weeks.
Find most things are ready to go 9 weeks anyways, even if they say they're good and 8.
Yeah, right. I agree with that. I agree with
The few things you have to watch out for is depending on the lines and where you're getting it from, you might start to see a few more nanners start sneaking up, and that could also be potentially why they like to have it finished in 8 weeks. So there's some
Right.
a little bit of sneaking going on the side too, but that's why you use reputable places.
Yeah. So the genetics have been good. I still got a bunch of stuff to hunt. I mean, I have too many seeds, way too many seeds, as if there's such a thing.
Right? It seems like there's not, but when you've got them all and you start doing the work, it's like, okay, maybe there's a few too many.
Well, the thing is, I look at the box and I think, God, it'll take me 10 years to pheno hunt and grow out all these and select and find and,
everything else that pops up in the meantime too.
I know.
Triple in size, right?
I know.
It never gets smaller.
Yeah, I got a buddy who, man, he probably dropped thousands of dollars worth of seeds probably like 8 years ago, and he's still sitting on most of them. And it's like he'll never. He's already on to the latest and greatest, so those are just on the back burner, and he'll probably never even sprout them.
Yeah, those will be something in 50 years when it's all gone.
Yeah.
Those are the ones, the packs that just sit around, and hopefully they're stored good. I'm sure they are if they're expensive.
Yeah, so I've been really lucky with the genetics and able to find really good phenos.
Sorry, I was just sharing the link out on the Discord channel. I forgot to share a link out over there. So make sure you guys share this out. If you like this information and you like the stuff you're hearing, make sure you hit that thumbs up. Also, it helps get the information out as well.
And definitely with my Wi-Fi today, I wasn't able to do too much of the share on the back end either.
That's
so
okay,
we appreciate
Jay.
anything, and get those thumbs up too. Everyone smash a thumbs up. I saw Tom was preaching, so thanks, Tom. Get it in
Thanks,
there.
Tom. Yes, thank Tom. And we got Bingo out there. We got Stu turning in. Who else we got out there? We got Imed. Thanks, guys, for being here. I really appreciate y'all tuning in today. Say hello in chat so I can say hello back. Why don't you all? Who else we got? We got Ian. I know Ian tuned in earlier. We had Gingerbug out there earlier. Hope you're all doing awesome. I hope you're all busy. If you're not here, I hope you're all busy in your gardens. Heck yeah. So what else do we want to talk about today with you, JR? Any plans coming up with the family? How's the family? Like, you've been taking care of the little granddaughter. She's probably not little anymore. How old is she now?
Yeah, she's going to be starting kindergarten this year.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun. We've been, with the COVID thing, we've been spending a lot of time, at home, so we've been having a good time. I mean, she's so inspiring, when you see her little learning and, growing, it makes you want to be involved and be a part of her life, and it's an awesome thing. I mean, I really do enjoy my family a lot. I mean, there's times where I really, really depend on them. My daughter does a great job of taking care of me, and so does my wife. So I'm very fortunate, I'm very, very fortunate in that respect. My son's down in the LA area. He finished up school as with a film degree. So he's down in LA trying to make it happen, which is exciting and fun. And then my other son, he lives here in town, and he's a big support for me. He helps me out a lot. So yeah, my daughter lives with us, and like I said, she takes good care of me.
That's awesome to hear.
Yeah,
sounds like a great support system and a nice tight knit family. So that's fantastic.
Yeah, we have a good time. I mean, we don't really get out much lately, but before the COVID thing, we had a chance to go to Hawaii, and I've never been anywhere tropical before, so that was awesome. My son got married there in Maui, and we spent 7 days there, and God, it was gorgeous. It was so amazing. You see pictures and you see films, of that lush kind of jungle looking stuff. And just to be there was amazing. Waterfalls and all that stuff.
That sounds awesome. I've never been there, but I got to go to
Yeah,
Jamaica
yeah.
and I did get to experience some of that. So that tropical and the color of the water you can't describe, and
Yeah,
how
it's
clear
different.
it is.
Ooh,
Isn't it
Yeah,
I
it's
can't wait to
different.
explore. Yeah, I
Yeah.
haven't explored it all either. Aside from living in the Okanagan, which is just, I mean, one of the epicenters. It's beautiful here. Got some real nice colored lakes, and I've seen all the kind of cool wildernessy Pacific Northwest region, but nothing else.
We are all lucky we live in the Pacific Northwest right here.
I agree with that.
Because
I agree
JR
with that.
Tokin, y'all, I don't know if we told you, he's checking in from Oregon. So we've got the little Pacific Northwest covered right here, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
Sure do.
Yeah, we do.
Heck yeah. And we got Mark Hogue tuning in for a bong rip. Hell yeah. Let's give a bong rip for the family and
Do
the
it.
caregivers. You're right. 100%, Mark. Let's do that. Unplug, how are you today? Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Oop, I didn't clean my rig out. Shame, shame. I'm running out of Q-tips. Gosh.
You got to invest in the Q-tip company.
Shit, I
Right?
should own one
Yeah,
right
holy
now.
smokes, a couple years ago. Right?
The glob mops, those glob mops, I have bought quite a few of those.
Hey, the paper towel companies aren't doing too bad either.
Or the parchment paper company.
Oh yeah, we got just all the side.
Or
side
when
ones.
you like to own one of the black tote companies right now. I'd like to own one of those black totes to make black totes right now.
30 years ago.
Or buckets. Or the 5-gallon buckets from Home Depot or Lowe's.
There we go.
Just if you had $1 for each one of those, think of what you can make. See, that's why China doesn't need to make a lot off their shit. They sell so much of it, they don't have to.
Well, it goes with everything, every large business, right? The more you can sell, the more you can drop your profit margins.
Okay,
If
let's
you're
have a
smart.
rip. I'm gonna go in on, what do I have? Oh, I have some of this. Oh my God, I forgot what I was smoking. The other one. The one was Acapulco Gold, and this one was LA Kush. LA Kush.
Oh, okay.
And then I'm going to the store today because Tara needs to re-up. And that's what I got left to dab on here today.
Wow.
So Tara's going to the store. It
What's that,
smells
LA?
amazing.
What's it taste like?
Oh man, it's got a sweet gas, I would say.
Sweet gas?
Yeah, a sweet gas. And I like the sweet gases. They're good. They're good. But I really liked the Missing Grape was probably one of my favorites. The lemon juice was really good of this brand. And I'm getting them for like $40 a gram now.
Really?
From our dispensary, yeah. And this is a BHO. This is solventless.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, I'm lucky. I am lucky.
Yeah, that's a
and I
good
hope
price. I mean,
everybody else out there, I hope someday you have access to this as well.
yeah, our live rosins and stuff are going for 60 to 80 a gram.
There's other ones that are like 120 and 70. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are other ones up there, but. And I really like this little rig. I'm glad Kathy, my girlfriend, talked me into going back to my little rig, smoking this little one. I really like it.
Nice.
And I actually don't waste as much that way as well. And I don't waste as much butane either because it heats up faster. So, and when you have really nice quality product, you don't need to take that much of it.
Right. Right.
For me anyways.
Yeah.
So cheers, everyone.
I never understand those 1 gram blobs that those guys do. It seems like a waste.
Yeah, there's some serious large globs going down sometimes.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Competitive nature in people, right?
Yeah.
And
it's kind of like
so
look
wasteful.
what I can do.
Yeah, it's so wasteful. Think of all those medical patients out there that are suffering that could use that.
Yeah, right.
And even if you get it all in you, that's you are shooting your tolerance up pretty high. You are asking for an expensive habit.
Yeah, that was kind of the nice thing about going to the
Cyril.
hospitals. I took like a 4-day break, so when I got home, man, I got ripped.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
I got
In fact,
sick of it.
I'm glad you brought that up because I had someone ask me about that. Was JR able to take his meds to the hospital? Let's talk about that.
Usually I take RSO with me in the hospital, just because it's easy and I don't have to, try to get in trouble. So I just take a capsule. I usually do it like the first day I come out of surgery. I'm still pretty hopped up on all their stuff, But then by the second day, I'm trying to get off the pain pump and get on to just oral meds. And then that's usually when I hit the RSO. And I can feel it almost instantly change the way I feel inside. It instantly makes me have an appetite where normally, I wouldn't want to eat, so allows me to, because there's certain obstacles you got to get through in order to get out of the hospital. You have to eat, drink, pass gas, and sometimes they make you have a bowel movement before they let you go. And so I'm always mindful of these little hurdles that I got to get through, and having the RSO helps a lot. So yeah, I'm able to bring my RSO in and take my meds.
Is that something you're able to, with consent from anyone that you're dealing with, bring in, or is it just because it's RSO and it's easy to kind of bring in and get in, you don't get hassled for it?
Yeah, it's kind of like on the DL. I keep it in
what I figured.
I keep it in my bag, and so they don't, they don't really.
So there's definitely ways to get it in that's easy and subtle and no problem. But on the principle behind it, they wouldn't let you bring your medicine in if you're like, hey, I need to bring my medicine. They'll be like, nope, you just need to come take our medicine because we don't like your medicine.
Yeah.
In this specific state or this specific area, but maybe in this area, if you were here, you could bring your medicine with you. It's just, we're slow, little steps. We're getting there.
Yeah, so like a good thing to do is like bake your edibles, like make cookies. They don't know a cookie's a cookie to them,
Oh yeah.
So that's what I used to do is I used to just bake cookies and then eat cookies. But these last couple times I went the RSO route. It's just,
no sugar, right? You probably don't want the other aspects of a cookie sometimes. Maybe you do because I'm pretty ignorant to the process and what all the do's and don'ts are. But I would imagine the less sugar, the better on the days right after and on recovery.
Yeah,
straight oil would be best.
Yeah, and it's just like I don't have to eat 2 cookies to get the dose. I just pop a pill and I'm there. So
totally.
It makes it a lot easier. Yeah, I'm a huge advocate for RSO or FICO, whichever you call it, whatever you call it.
So are you still making your own RSO, right? Let's talk about that a little bit. Are you any new meds and how are you updating? What are you doing right now?
Yeah, we're still using the Source Extract Craft Turbo
nice.
to do our RSO extractions. I do mix it with a little bit of hemp seed oil to loosen it up a little bit to get it in the capsule a little easier. And I also find that the dose is a little more tolerable. I've had a couple mini freak out sessions with it, trying to get the dosing right. But you just kind of remind yourself, this is not last forever. I'm not dying, just wait,
maybe I actually feel kind of good down somewhere, you just got
you'll get
thinking about the bad, thinking about the good.
Right. Yeah. So I had a couple of those sessions of freakouts, but I just dialed it down a little bit and found the dose that works for me, and I take it every night before bed. I take my RSO. Actually, I take it in the morning too. I have a morning dose that I do.
That's fantastic. Hold a baseline, right? It kind of makes sense. So your body's not going through up and downs. Kind of get it at every so often at whatever periods for each specific individual.
Yeah.
And
so I'm curious. Have you added any of the CBD in there?
We did do a round of 1-to-1s, but we ran out of material. So, but we were doing 1-to-1 RSO there for.
What about with just some isolate for you? I'm just curious.
I haven't really come across it.
I have access to some.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
I would love to donate some if you'd like to try it.
the first time I did a CBD dab that I really hit me was with Frosty McNuggets in Colorado. He had some it was live resin, but it was all CBD. And I hit that, and it just instantly this overwhelming feeling of calm just went from my head all the way down to my toes. And I, for like 15 minutes, I was just sitting in the chair feeling ultra relaxed. I mean, really relaxed. And then I just kind of came about, and then it was kind of over, and it was great, man. It was the first time I really
That's cool.
felt the impacts of what CBD does. And I thought it was pretty cool. I thought it was pretty cool. I've thought about, growing out some, high CBD strains and doing that kind of thing, but I don't really have the room,
Well, it's also the ratios aren't there. They haven't been working on those ratios because everybody was like going for the high THC, and so they're just kind of now getting all of those ratios back in there and working on that. But I do have, the isolate. I have actually isolate. This is actually isolate, CBD isolate that I got from Eric, our friend Eric, Farmex. Didn't you meet Farmex, Eric?
I'm not sure.
He is an extractor in Portland there, in Salem.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, Salem. I remember.
Eric, he has that lab in Salem, and that's where I purchased it from him. And nice. And he's giving it to he gets it out to medical patients. I think he's doing it for like $20 a gram or $10 a gram on his website. Check it out. But if anybody needs any CBD, it's Mad Dog CBD. Is that
Fat Dog.
Fat Dog.
Fat Dog.
I always say
CBD.
Mad Dog. Why do I always say Mad Dog? It's Fat Dog.
Well, we know the Mad Dog, but Fat Dog CBD is where it's at. And then same thing. It's an isolate, so it's not the same as in the plant with all the other synergistic benefits. But it's like you said, the new age plants weren't really bred for CBD. So now, if like even in the RSO or the FICO, that was kind of what I was going to address on before. RSO and FICO are essentially the same thing now, but RSO has the connotation of being made with either naphtha or isopropanol, just because that was like the kind of rudimentary and way to do it. Still worked, but not the best medicine. With FICO, the fully extracted cannabis oil, same thing, same product, but just it's generally implied that it would be an ethanol extraction through a closed loop system and then testing. And with the Source Pro, even the unit that JR spoke about before, it just uses ethanol, and it has like a really solid reuse rate for the ethanol extraction. Like I think it's like 90% or something like that. 85% it reuses, and then you can speak on that a little bit if we wanted to talk on it. But
we use 190 proof Everclear.
Yeah,
and so like we'll do a little soak, and then we run that, strain it and run it, and it, they kind of build it as a dab machine, a home dab unit. I have to say, if you were to do it for dabs, they'd be pretty loose and not really of the great consistency. Yeah. But for FICO or RSO, it works really, really good.
Exactly. And then with that, because some of the cultivars that you'd be running, the plants are going to be more THC dominant, that's where Sarah's kind of mentioning, you can just add in a little bit of that isolate even into the unit itself while it's working, because it'll just by nature break down with it. And then you'll be able to kind of adjust those levels a little bit more if you don't have access to full spectrum plant material, because that's obviously like, number one, because then you have the just in nature how she would do it with a high CBD cultivar. But then if not, why not just add some to some other cultivar that works really well for you?
Yeah. We had a Oregon Tsunami that we got from Homegrown Natural Wonders, OD Diesel, and it was a 1.5 to 1, and it was really good. But we ran it for like, I don't know, probably 3 years, and it just got beat down and tired. But yeah, so we're looking for something like that. I have a couple people in my family who kind of rely on 1-to-1 CB or high CBD. So I'm trying to work on that with Rab from Seattle Chronic Seeds. He's
oh, cool.
Yeah, he's going to be coming on our live event this next May 22nd on Cannabis. We're having a live event, and it's basically how to set up your backyard grow. And we're gonna
Oh,
have
rad.
Rab from OD Diesel or Rab from Seattle Chronic Seeds, and then we're also gonna have Jeff from Dragon Flames Genetics. Uh, both those dudes are gonna come on and kind of we'll go through a format and kind of help people get set up for the summer.
Cool. I wish I would do that. I could do the Jadam style one next year. We could prepare
Nice.
for that. For the
Yeah,
Jadam
once we're ready.
style one, see, with the Jadam, you have to do like 4 applications prior to even planting anything in your beds.
Well, yeah, to be
And it's
like
4
100%.
weeks.
We're starting this
4
September for our next year's prep. But that's just with doing different specific natural composting and you putting different like duck bedding and manures and our grass, so on and so forth for our mulches. And there's just a lot of process to it. And yeah, as Tara mentioned, then in the spring we have our 4 foundational applications and we're learning lots. But
What
maybe
are
we can
those?
do that.
What are those 4 foundational things?
Well, it takes 4 weeks. And it's every time you apply is it's JMS and it's Jadam microbial solution.
Oh, okay.
And it's a process that you have to make up this. It's time consuming. It's not as time consuming, I believe, as KNF. I believe that if you want the most time consuming hobby thing, it would be biodynamic first, and then KNF, and then Jadam, and then organic would be the other easiest, maybe organic way of growing. So out of those top 4 natural ways of growing, that would be in the order I would say of the hardest to do.
Yeah.
Because the biodynamic actually takes like if we were to do it right now, if I was to go out and collect yarrow, we were talking about this. If I was to go out and collect yarrow, I would need the gallbladder. Was it the stomach? No, the urine bladder.
The spleen of a reindeer?
No. The urine bladder of a reindeer. It was that one. It was a spleen for something else. And it was like, yeah, you need a horn from something else and you stuff this in. Like biodynamic farming is a whole monster on its own. And I'm saying monster, it's like a creature because it is a weird life. It is a life of its own. And I didn't even know about this shit. This is new shit to me.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't have access to reindeer bladders.
No, not many do.
It's crazy. There's some weird, and there's like, isn't it yak antlers or another antler? I don't know. There's some other weird, I don't even know it. So I'm not going to like quote it because I don't know it, but you can go really deep. And this Jadam style, what I want to say a few things about Jadam. Jadam has really gotten a bad rep. I have to say, Jadam has really gotten a bad rep because I know I was one of them that talked bad about Jadam at first too, because of the stinkiness. It stinks. It does stink. But you know what? So does our pot. And good shit stinks. So, good shit does stink sometimes. So that's just how I'm going to put it. And it is.
Our guts are.
What?
Like our guts are anaerobic and they work just fine. So there's certain things that do work well in life with it. So I mean, I'm impartial because the smell. I'm not a fan of the smell, but having 14 separate different Jadam liquid fertilizers, as well as like a few multiples of those individual ones, and a 40-gallon grass weed fertilizer, all within 20 feet of my entrance. Not too overpowering. It's you seal them, but you don't want to have them completely sealed, as I've experienced, because it adds a lot of pressure in some of them, and you want it to be able to off gas a little bit out, which attributes to the smell. But there's a couple tricks like adding just a little bit extra leaf mold soil, and then some what was it? Biochar, a little layer of biochar on top, and that'll really help reduce the smell. You have to be, cognizant of how much you apply because it's another input in there. But it works in my little brain in a similar way to charcoal filters. But I'm not sure if that's exactly the chemical process. But regardless, it makes it so it's a little less smelly if it's bothering you or presenting an issue. But it's not too bad at all here, and I've got a ton for our area, and I'm right in a rural urban area, so.
once you apply the product, like sitting in the jar, if I went over and put my nose in and smell it or open it and stir it, once you get it in the air, it does smell. But once you apply it in your garden, literally like the next day, I walk in here and I don't smell it. Like I cannot smell it. Not a thing. Like I don't.
Even once you dilute it, it really goes down for like, say, because like you can.
And actually I got it all over my hands. Okay. Did not wear gloves
So
for
did
the first
Pam.
time. Oh shit. I thought my hands was going to smell like, oh shit, all night. I was so worried because I went like this and they do smell like they do stink. Like it was not pretty. Like I was like, oh my God, how am I going to get this off my hands? I'm like, okay, I'm just not going to think about it right now. I'm going to finish I had to do all this. So I did it all. And then I came inside and I took the soap we made this Jadam soap and I took it. And then I took some lemon and I cut off a lemon and I rubbed it all over my hands and I washed my hands and the smell went away. I literally lost it. It did not smell. I was like, oh, thank God. Because it didn't smell good.
And like I've got like a fish one going. I've got a few interesting ones that definitely are the more kind of rancid and potent ones, but having and a little bit of I don't know how much this attributes to reducing the smell, but I imagine just the more diversity could probably help. Maybe I'm wrong there, so don't quote me on that one. But we add in some crop residuals from whatever crop we're going to be growing. So for each one of the JLFs, I've added in on top just a little bit of some cannabis weed. So cannabis trim, whatever's around at the time, and then some natural weeds from the environment as well. And you just let that do its thing. They all have different setting times from as little as 10 days up to as much as a year for things like, I think it would be like if you used, say, for me, because I can hunt snails at certain times of the year, which is crazy as it sounds, but there's like hundreds of little buggers in a huge field by me at certain times. And those would take like, a year because they're full snail shells, unless you were to break them down and stuff first. As we keep saying, we will get into all of these more specifically and do little individualized videos.
I was going to grab my eggs and start cracking my eggs on the live this morning. I was like, here you go. I'm having my breakfast because I have eggs, a whole bunch of eggs that my chickens have. We have so many eggs. Like I give eggs away, like crazy amounts of eggs. Yeah. And I can make this fertilizer, a whole plant fertilizer for my plant out of eggs. Isn't that cool?
And one of the best ones, apparently, a very highly revered one, because eggs have all the things it takes to form life inside of it. So so if anyone has a farm, especially where they have eggs that are, there's lots of time, like just especially out at the other farm at Camp's Farm, there's a lot of ones that go bad. Go ahead, Tara.
Yeah. How many times are you out at farms that people let their animals range free and there's that nest of eggs that went bad that you're like, oh God, I don't want to touch it.
Or the mom pushes a couple
what you do, you know what you do? You fill up a bucket with water and then you go get those eggs and you drop them in the water and you don't even have to worry about them exploding on you. How fucking good idea is that?
Halfway with water and then try to get it to the rest of the way, just to be a little more specific. But exactly. It's super simple. You fill it up, drop them in there, and now you're good to rock. A little lid on top to prevent anything else from stealing your eggs.
No, but I'm saying why you would fill them up with water first, because then if the eggs explode, they don't go like in your face because there's water in there,
and
right? You know what I'm saying? Because the smell and like oh my God!
So do you break the eggs when you put them in the water?
After you would drop them in there, if you don't know if they're yucky and you drop them in first, you would take a stick and you would break them all up. You need to scramble them.
It would take a lot longer if you didn't. And there's no reason not to, aside from if there's that rancid and it's something that you just can't handle. Just put them in there, close the lid, leave it, just wait, a year plus, as opposed to maybe a few months to half a year for if they were broken down. Probably quite a bit quicker. I'm not super familiar on the whole egg JLF. Is it something we've kind of recently learned about? But it's generally really simple.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I'm super excited. So I have a whole bunch. I was really not a very good mommy hen taker care of her this last week. My hens are really good layers. They lay and lay, they are happy hens. And I sometimes get a little lazy and I don't grab all the eggs. So
Yeah.
if you don't grab all the eggs, like I was telling Drake, it'll get your hens to want to sit on the eggs.
They're
Yeah.
They
brooding.
become rooty. And I have a hen that did it because I left some eggs in there and I wasn't paying attention in one of the nests. I didn't see it. And yeah. So last night I had to go out and grab all these eggs. So I have a bucket of eggs that I was going to start smashing and I forgot them out there. But yeah,
Wow.
anyways. So I'm
So once
gonna,
you
I'll do
smash
that on
them
the
in-
next live.
Once you smash them and put them in the water, how long does it take before it's ready to strain and use?
So you don't just do that. There's more stuff to do to that. So make sure that if you're going to do it, there's a recipe to follow depending on how much you use, how much water, and you would put salt and you would put leaf mold soil in there. But make sure you go follow the recipe. I didn't tell you right how to do it today. So I want to throw that out there.
It is very simple though. Like
doesn't it take like 3 to 6 months or even a year? No, this one's a year. I think this one's a year.
If it was eggs, it would be a year. But I think when you break them all down, that scramble them, however you want to call them, I think that does eliminate some time. But it could be a year specifically. But that is the longest lasting ferment. Like same with if you really get into it, there's the human feces and human urine JLFs, and those ones are 6 months to a year as well. And it's just for the different what the different processing is. If the stuff is harder to break down, if there's like with certain manures, there's a lot more let's just say chemical processes that have to happen before you're left with something that you're confident to use. So with most of those ones, it's 3 months plus as well. Whereas something like the wild grass or purslane is done in as little as 10 days. And then you can and it is very simple. Like the most basic one is just whatever product you're using, say purslane or weeds from your property, soft water ideally, and then some leaf mold soil. And we've talked about that, and we're gonna let everyone know how to do more proper collections in the future. And then you can spice it up further, like kind of Tara saying. Then you can add some sea salt, some rock dust, some crop residuals from the specific crop you're going to be adding it to. And then you've kind of got your custom one. But either way, it's super simple. And then you just set it, forget it. I mean, you shake it once a week, give it a good stir once a week is a nice thing to do. But again, if you don't, it takes longer.
Crazy.
Very simple,
Well,
very cheap.
no, don't shake it all the time. You don't shake everything, Drake. We need to like back up on that one, I think.
I mean, I've shaken pretty much everything.
All of your gallons out there?
Yeah.
I thought because I was understanding it. We're not really supposed to disturb the caps. We're supposed to just kind of keep pushing them back under. But I don't know. We need to know more about this because we're doing a fermentation of things, right?
No,
so,
that is a great point you make.
You don't disturb. So I don't know. Like we don't know enough about this, and this is why I'm trying to. I want to go back to this for just a minute.
Well,
People do not. Just a minute. People do not understand this book. This book is really hard to read. This book is really hard to understand the exact way to do it because not all of the exact ways are in here. There's also different books. Drake and I have different books, even though they say the same on the front.
It's the same copy.
There's things missing. And the reason is this isn't there. It's not bad. Like this is just new to us. This is taken and it's been translated. We had the gentleman on our show. He helped translate these books for us from Korean to English. And you know, when translating these things, stuff gets lost in that. And in fact, one of the things that's lost that people don't they're still doing wrong. And KNF, brown sugar. When they say use brown sugar with KNF, it's raw sugar, not brown sugar like we know it here in America. Raw sugar, because raw sugar is brown. What we do with our brown sugar, we take our natural white bleached ash sugar and then we put molasses in it. That's what brown sugar is to us in America. That is not brown sugar for KNF. So even I was doing that wrong, like back in the day, because there's like so much translation that it's like, oh, it's so confusing. So this is why Drake and I have been on this rabbit hole, and he and I literally meet every morning We have a conversation about how we apply these things, how we do it. And we have several people that we're like have talked to, that we've worked with, that we're getting information from, and we're collecting all this so we can have a cheat sheet so we can share with everybody. Next year, by this September, if you guys are ready to go down the JDAM rabbit hole, we're going to have this in Discord for you. We're going to have all this information that if you need to do it for a small acre, you need to do it for a little 3x3 plant. If you need to do it for whatever, we're going to help you with that. And I'm super excited because it's hard. It's not easy.
Well, each one is its own recipe. Each one of these different amendments, each one of these inputs, each one of these different styles of farming or agriculture in general is some form of recipe. And you want to follow it until you really, really, really understand it, until you're your own master chef. And then you can start changing inputs or something, you know, as you see fit for your specific area. But I think it's going to take a long time personally to get there. So everyone should tread cautiously in doing so. And then to recap on the stirring, because you made a really good point, where I do recall hearing from a few people that for at least some specific ones, you didn't want to necessarily go and like, you know, take it, open the lid, take
Pulverize.
a stick, pulverize and stir everything. So like for mine, I actually don't remove the lids that are semi-sealed. I have them stacked on each other so I can go out there and then I can kind of do like this kind of motion on the one side. And because they're full 5-gallon buckets, they're not light, you know, they're 40 pounds or however many pounds a piece, a little more. So you can just kind of push them and shake them around. I got to be cautious. I can't go too hard because I got my own thing going on with my arms. So I just kind of have to rock them gently, but that rocking is my way of now not having to pick each one up and shake them around. So I can kind of just do like a motion that goes either clockwise or counterclockwise with the product, and it kind of just will give a stirring motion.
So I just have to say that this is normally done on like this is a 2-acre farm that they do in here. This is what this is all about. It's how to do it on a 2-acre farm. So when you break it down into smaller things, sometimes some of these things don't actually work. And like these are the barrels we're talking, they make this fertilizer in. This is huge.
Yeah.
50 gallons.
Like, so there's really no shaking or no stirring of some of this stuff. So that's why I'm like, we've got to be careful in some of the things that we say to people, that maybe you don't shake everything. Maybe you need to really look into things for yourself, even though other people have said things, even though they have come out in our industry and have acted like they are master growers or master gardeners. I'm finding out,
exactly.
Even though they've put videos out on internet, you still need to go and read between the lines. Okay, do some of your own research, and don't even just follow what I say. Go do your own research.
Well, exactly like you were just saying, like how I said, I'm shaking all mine and rolling with them. Like keep in mind that, you know, we'll like look into that yourself and try to, you know, like it's a little bit tough because some of the stuff is lost in communication with the translations and just that they're only in videos in Korean, so on and so forth. But do some of your own DD. And if you can't find something, reach out to other people who you think may have the proper answer. But for things like that, there's a great group on Facebook, if you're on there. That's the JDAM Organic Farming Group that has a few of the members of the family that founded the techniques as well as the KNF on there. So it's definitely the JDAM founders, but regardless, there's some good places where you can reach out and ask right from the horse's mouth, or however you'd like to phrase it.
Awesome. Well, back to JR. Don't want to take away from him. Hey, does anybody have any questions for JR today? By the way, we got JR on today, and did you have any questions for us, JR? Now that we went down a crazy rabbit hole.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. I mean,
he started it. He asked about JLF.
I know. Yeah. I'm like, wow.
Right, yeah.
He had no idea when he entered.
Yeah, you open the can.
Enter at your own risk.
I'm really interested in trying to develop, you know, a good base for veg and a good base for flower that is of a natural. But space and time kind of have kept me from pursuing it as aggressively as I probably should. But I'm at a point now where I would like to replace some of the store-bought newts with natural stuff, because I can, like in my backyard, I've got blackberry shoots that are just growing by the minute, you know, And I know I can blend those up and create a good veg formula out of those shoots.
Any lovely green growing stuff, any of the weeds you've got,
Just
anything you
grass,
normally get rid of, just get
grass
them,
and
throw them
weeds.
into the bucket, chat with us, and we'll fill it up, and it'll probably with something like that be ready within a month. Store
Right
it
now,
somewhere. It's just a bucket size. Go ahead, Tara.
anything you are weeding in your garden, anything you are weeding, like thistles, dandelions, any of those
Especially.
things that you've been told that are bad, that's what goes in the bucket. That's what makes the good shit. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
because
Just
I
make sure it's
know
not
like
sprayed.
those blackberry shoots are probably full of hormones, you know what I mean, that are making them grow so fast.
Yeah, the first 6 inches are the best of normally of a plant, the first
Yeah.
living part, and the green little, yeah, you're exactly right. And I don't know, I haven't heard about the blackberry. I don't have any blackberry here. I'm planting blackberry so I can have some thornless blackberry. But I don't have any because you live down there in Oregan and
Yeah.
over on the wetter side. So I live on the dry side. So yeah, well,
Yeah,
that'd be cool. I'll find out for you. We'll find out. Maybe we can help you get something done. I'd love to help you go down that. If you'd like some help and if you want information, I'd love to help you.
Yeah, I would definitely like to figure out a base newt for veg and for flower.
Cool.
Just something that I can replace the bottles with, you know.
Yeah, definitely. Well, that would be fun. You heard it all right here. We got it on tape.
Exactly.
You have been behind the scenes for those of you out there that are new to JR Tokin. He's been behind the scenes to the Dude Grows show for a long, long time. When did you start out with those guys?
Probably about 6 years ago. I think it's
6
six
years. Okay.
years now.
Wow. Yeah.
And the show's doing really good. I mean, they've really put a lot of effort and money into making it look really professional. They built a new studio and show's doing really good. We've got some people now managing social media and stuff like that. So they're doing a really good job. It's always a constant growing thing, you know, and trying to get, out there, get people to know about it. And it's a good
Absolutely.
resource for growers. I mean, there's a lot of really good information. And if you go to dogrows.com on the website, if you have a question, you can leave a question there, and I can guarantee you're going to get at least 5 or 6 educated answers to whatever your problem is. So it's a good resource for growers. It really is a good resource.
Cool. That's awesome. And you normally are the one that set up those interviews. So you get to talk to some really cool people behind the scenes.
Yeah, I used to do that quite a bit. Since I've been doing the cannabis thing, I don't really set up interviews anymore. I kind of turned that over to Scotty. He's been doing a lot of that.
Yeah, but it was more when you were probably out on the road though. So
yes,
I was going to say you've talked to some really cool people. I was going to say, what are some of the most memorable people that you've talked to that you can remember? What do you think? Like,
one of my favorites was talking to Tommy Chong, of course. That was epic. I got to speak with him. He was doing it was right before he went to prison. His son had that glass business, the bong business, and it was right before that. So he was doing announcing, he was emceeing in between bands. And so he did his announcement, came down, and I was sitting on this log right by the stage, and he just came down and sat by me, and we started shooting the shit about, raising a family, having kids and all that stuff. And it was a really cool moment. So Tommy Chong was a really cool one. I got to go up to BC, Canada, and I met Urban Remo, smoked a joint with him. That was a lot of fun. So yeah, I've had that, and and I was kind of getting to that point that another reason I'm not doing interviews as much is because I don't get out. I haven't been able to get out and meet people and go to shows and stuff like that. So that was a huge part of me being able to consistently keep people on the schedule.
Yeah, I definitely miss the shows. Definitely miss the shows. I definitely miss getting around everybody. We had a big meeting with the Dragonfly team the other night. If any of you caught my Instagram post, that's what that was. I didn't post that up yet. We didn't talk about that, but we're going to bring that up and talk that on Saturday. In fact, we have a show coming up Saturday morning. If y'all are interested, we'll be back again Saturday morning at 9 o'clock is our new summer hour for now. And you're definitely welcome to join us anytime again, JR. We always
Thanks.
love to have you back.
Appreciate that.
Any final words? We've kept you sitting around here long enough. I don't want to make you sit here much any longer. I don't know if you're busy schedule, what you got going on today.
Yeah, I would just like to encourage people to get out there and check out cannabis.app. I think you'll find it's a real good community and you'll have a good time. We've done a lot of work to try to improve how the site works, how the app works. And it's just like you said, it's a constantly evolving, growing thing. And we're having a really good time with it. So yeah, check out cannabis.app. Check out dogrows.com and the Do Grow Show on YouTube. And yeah, appreciate being on, Tara. I really do.
Awesome. Thanks, JR. And like I said, you're definitely welcome to come back anytime. I don't know if we can get you out of bed at 9 though.
Roll out.
Well, should we take one last rip with everybody and send them on their merry way? I hope you guys all have a fantastic, healthy, and high day out there. I am going to have another dab.
Cheers.
Cheers. Did you want to take another hit? Are you done for the day, or is anybody else smoking with me out there?
I'll jump in.
Okay.
I just have one, but I'll have another. And everyone check out the link in chat there. Just shared up the Cannabis platform.
I know. Where's that cute little puppy?
He's sleeping. He went back to bed.
Okay. JR's got a cute little friend, y'all. We got to see him.
Yeah,
It was
we got
cute.
to see.
We got to peek at that cute little thing. Oh my gosh, it's a doll. Doll. Cheers, everybody. Have a fantastic day. We'll see you back on Saturday.
Jungle pound cake. Going in on some jungle pound cake.
Beautiful.
Yeah, little fuel, then it's got a little kind of like chem twang to it, and then it fades right into the cookie profile with the back end. So it's a neat one.
Nice.
That was just right. Ooh, 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 ooh. Almost too hot. Ooh. All right, y'all. Drake, any final words? He's like, I'm dabbing and we're out of here. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in. We got Cheddar Bob tuning in last minute, Dab PI, Sammy came by, Ian. We got Simpson in the house. How are you? We got Biggs. How are you? Coming in the last minute. Bingo, how are you? What's up? What's up? I hope you have a fantastic day. Who else did we have come by? We had Ahmed out there, Sammy and Stu, and don't forget Lobster. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We will see you back again Saturday morning. Peace.
Growers love, everyone. Growers love.